Welcome to another edition of the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Randy Zellea from Back Sports Page, and as always with me,
Emerito Rivera from Level 1 Games. How are you, Mr. Randolph?
you know what? I'm doing very, very well. I'm in the mood to make an impact.
Wait. Before we get to this interview, what were you doing tonight? Tonight's the first night of Passover, is it not?
I cannot confirm nor deny this.
And what were you doing?
Listen, if you are listening to this during this
is a
time,
Monday,
Friday,
probably.
Yes, this will be a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Tonight we are recording this on the first night of Passover, and I went to Teplebeth Casino tonight.
A casino.
Well, listen,
Jesus Christ.
Tonight is the first night of Passover. Where were you?
I was working, and then I'm here.
Okay, so I'm here too. We are now on Teplebeth Zoom. Teplebeth Zoom. We are now. All right. Would you like to say? Would you like to say the prayer over the interview? What would you like me to say?
No, I just wanted to make you admit you were out gambling tonight. I thought that was kind of funny.
Hey, listen. There were outlets there, so I was shopping too. So let's just.
I like how we throw that in there.
Listen, I did say the prayer over the double cheeseburger I had for dinner. So I just want to let you know. I fulfilled my faith and did everything well. But we don't look at political or religious views on this show, so I do apologize to anyone I've offended. So let's now move forward. We are ready to make an impact on this episode of the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast, which is a beautiful segue to our guest this week, M.
Dude, I was stoked when Ross from Impact gave us Rohit Raju. Now, I've been watching him on Impact for a couple of weeks, and I've been excited as hell when he told me, hey, you got Rohit this Friday. All right, cool. Yeah, and, the only thing is we could not talk too much about anything else, so we kept it impact oriented. So this will be an impact oriented interview. Randy was his regular reporter self, and I'm gonna sit there and, dude, I love the stuff he does. Don't sit there and try to say that he cheats to win, because he doesn't. The end result is that he wins. All right, we have this argument all the time. It's the end result that matters, Randy.
Listen, I want to let you know, you cannot sit outside the ring during a battle royal. And
you 100% can, as long as, one, you don't go in the ring first, or you went under the ropes. So the rules are, if you go over the ropes, you are eliminated. Is that not the rule, Randy? So we've had this conversation many a time. It's within the rules. It's not cheating. All right?
You have to
and Rohit has been on a roll lately, taking down bigger opponents, and like he says in this interview, which you'll see in a moment, he's good at taking them down.
Listen, what I liked about this interview the most was his honesty. He was fun. Big props to Impact Wrestling for letting him join us this week. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we are doing it. And you're going to be hearing from him in just a moment.
Welcome. Today we have the Desi Hitman, Rohit Raju. How are you, dude?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
Listen, I want to dive right into this. There was one thing I noticed the other day on your trunks, and I wanted to ask you right away. Listen, what was it? The mocha-skinned manimal. Listen, I'm mocha-skinned, so I got to ask, how'd you come up with that? What does that mean?
Man, I can't even remember. Somebody was trying to figure out, we were talking about skin tone, and a friend of mine, she goes, oh, your skin's more of a mocha. And I can't remember the saying, but there was a movie or something, and some guy said sexified man beast or something like that. And I was like, man, what a nickname. And then I was just spitballing. I came up with mocha skin manimal somehow. I can't remember. I just did it. A lot of times stuff just pops into my head, and I started going with it. I've actually been saying it forever. But it wasn't until I had it on the trunks that people really started to realize. And I think that'll be my next shirt, Mocha Skin Manimal. And we'll go from there. But, yeah, man, that's probably my favorite nickname because it pops to everybody every single time. So
yeah, because I saw you the other day and I'm like, my mocha skin, yo, that's awesome, dude. Like I would buy that shirt. I'm not gonna lie. So.
Well, there we go. I mean, exactly. We'll just have that on there, and anyone that has that beautiful mocha skin can rock it, and there you go.
Exactly. So I also wanted to touch the other day. Listen, you've been beating some big guys lately, man. And some of the dirt sheets, they crap on you. I'm not gonna crap on you. Listen, you beat those guys beautifully. All right. You beat Shira 2 weeks ago. And then on the 23rd of March, you beat Falaba. And they're all saying that it was a cheap victory, that you cheated.
Well,
listen, it was a perfect victory in my opinion. Well, tell me about that. How do you prepare?
Let's talk about this. You have the largest trees in the forest, right? But you got the sharpest chainsaw in the woodshed. You got to chop them down here and there. Look, nobody's ever given me anything. The company hasn't given me anything. The fans aren't going to give me anything. So what do? I take, because it's my world. It's my career. It's my win column. So who cares how I get it done? No one cares when TJP can do all this mask BS, can get an X Division title match and win. Oh, everyone, that's pretty good. That's great. We applaud this. But anytime I do anything, haters gonna hate. Rohit, you're dirty, and Impact wants to put, the king of leverage. And you know what? The dirtiest player in the game is one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. So until that changes, don't even bother talking to me about it.
Exactly. And Randy's gonna ask you, but it's so unfair. He puts on a mask. Tell him, Randy.
Yeah. Well, then I was going to ask you about that, about TJP and your run right now with the X Division. Did you feel that you demanded you should be granted a rematch just because TJP pulled that stunt?
There should have been no rematch. It was a collusion by Scott D'Amore and TJ. You know what I mean? They wanted to get the belt off me for whatever reason. They didn't want there's haters. They want to see all the fun I was having with it, all the grilling with my title and my bikini trunks on, flipping burgers out there. And then they weren't fans of that. They want to have a more suitable traditional corporate champion. So they had TJP and they did all their stuff, which is fine. Small roadblock as far as me being X Division champion. Now I got to deal with Fallon. Now I got to deal with Shira. I got Hernandez to watch my back. That cost me a lot of money, a lot of X Division title purse money, which I could be using to pay this big dude off. But I should still be champion. I should never lost the belt because that match shouldn't have happened. However, it did. I'm not champion anymore. I'm getting over it. Sooner or later, I will get that belt back. Or you know what? Maybe I'll go up there and slap around Rich Swann or Kenny Omega or whoever's going to be champion at the time, and I'll get the world champion, world championship belt. Maybe we'll just do that. Maybe I'll just hop, skip, and jump and go to that. But the X Division title, that's a little bit personal for me. So sooner or later, I'm going to have that back around my waist.
So I wanted to touch on something. We had Chris Bey on here a couple of months ago, and he was about to go into the three-way with you and TJP Manic. And one of the quotes that he said, if he won, was that he would like a program with you, and it would be something that has to get done, and that there is a natural chemistry between you two. And I wanted to touch on that because what do you think if you won today? If you went to Austin, to Ace Austin, and beat him 1-2-3, fair, by the way, totally fair. And what would you feel? Would you feel similar? Would you grant Bey that title, a match?
There's definitely unfinished business with myself and Bey. Yeah, there is a chemistry there. We never got the one-on-one match that I think we need to have happen, or even just a program. So that definitely does need to go down. There's unfinished business, like I said. It's weird because we're good as a team when we have our little random team ups, but we're better as enemies. It's that better enemies, good friends, better enemies type thing. And there's just something between us. We're both hungry, but we both have our own certain style, and we both just want to be the top guy, and we have to get that. You know what I mean? It's just like two dogs that have to get that out of their system, and so the other one will move on. And of course, obviously, I'll move on, and he'll still be looking up. But that's just what happens. But yes, Chris Bey versus Rohit, it definitely needs to happen in the future, and I think it will.
it sounds like there's a good professional rivalry there between the two of you because both you guys are hungry and want to be the top guy in the X division. If I had to say to you, Rohit versus Chris Bey, what kind of match would you guys want to have to raise the bar and make it so much more different than any other thing that Impact has seen so far?
Honestly, I don't know as far as like gimmick match or stipulations. I would just love to get in the ring with him. He is more of a high flyer than I am. I'm more of a striker and speed and like to grab you and kind of twist a hold here and there. So I think our styles would clash in a good way. So, he wants to come off that springboard cutter. I'd want to grab him and put him in a crossface or, catch him with a jumping knee or something like that. I would like to see what we could do in a natural one-on-one environment without any crazy stipulations and then work from there and see what happens. I don't want to say Ultimate X because at Ultimate X, I'd want everybody involved in that. But I also would want that in front of a crowd because I think something like that needs to happen in front of a crowd. But just a simple, basic one-on-one match because sometimes I think if you have a good chunk of time on the table and it's you already have that chemistry, that's all you need, and that'll be the best story you'll tell without having any type of weapons or stipulations involved in it. I think simple sometimes is the best.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and especially your styles clash. So that would be something I would want to see without the gimmicks. I just want to see you guys go at it for a nice 10, 15, 20-minute match. I would be ecstatic to watch that. Speaking of watching, though, what's the next pay-per-view? It's Hardcore Justice, I believe, and Tommy Dreamer is booking it. Do you think he'll book you? Maybe you and Hernandez? And if so, would you be excited about something like that?
I'm too handsome to be getting hit with chairs and stuff like that. So maybe if the money is right and Tommy, he wants to put me in something, fine, sure, why not? I would rather not do anything of that nature. You know what I mean? Like I wrestle for longevity, not for the Nimrods at home. So I don't care what they like and what they want to see. I don't like you want to see someone get hit with a chair, have some other goof take a chair shot. I'll just be at home eating popcorn, watching whatever. But we'll see. Obviously, if they want to put me on the show, they'll put me on the show. They need ratings. Boom. What do? You put Rohit on there. Bam. That's a smart thing to do. Maybe you can just give me a vignette or a promo or something like that. But all the hardcore stuff, they can stick to that. Like that's cool. I'm good on that.
So speaking of ratings, I wanted to touch on this because I think this was a ratings draw. The Defeat Rohit challenge when he had the title. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because
we both watched this. We both watched this last night. I said we both watched this yesterday. We wanted to rewatch it, and I gotta tell you, like again, he's a heel at heart, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, that's a little bit of a cheap way to beat the belt, but it was entertaining.
No. Listen, you walked out with the championship, and that's all that mattered to me.
That's all that. I mean, end of the day, no one remembers how you win it. They just remember that you won it. You know what I'm saying? And they just remember that this guy he had a pretty long run as X Division champion. It doesn't matter all the little details and implications. What matters is I'm on a poster with the X Division title wrapped around my waist, and everybody else is frowning because they're not champion. That's what matters. The Defeat Rohit challenge was a way for me to give back because, no one ever gave me any opportunities. I had to plot, scheme, and sneak my way into an X Division title match. No one did that. No one in management said, let's give Rohit a t-shirt. I had to come up with that idea. No one said, let's put Rohit on a poster. I had to work my way into an X Division championship match. So unlike all the other champions and all the other corporate BS, I figured what better way, to give opportunity by then having an open challenge for all the Nimrods in the back to come and try to defeat Rohit. The thing was, they had their opportunity. Oh, you won by count out? Congratulations. You passed the Defeat Rohit challenge. That's your chance. You shouldn't have another chance after that. Scott D'Amore, once again, biggest hater out there, biggest Ro hater out there, comes in and says, he beat you, so we're going to put 5 of these people in the ring. And guess what? I still walked out champion. That was a Bound for Glory. I still walked out the champ. And whatever, man. They tried to do what they could to take the belt away from me. And I gave them great TV with the Defeat Rohit challenge. They were ungrateful. And again, it goes right back to the plotting and scheming on their part with the mask, manic, all that jazz. And they finally got the belt off of me. So they got what they wanted. It is what it is. But we'll always be talking about the Defeat Rohit challenge. You never know. It can make a comeback soon.
I honestly hope it does. But you brought it up, and I have to ask, the X Division 6-man scramble intergender match, that they really threw everything, including the kitchen sink, to get that title off of you. We had Trey Miguel, TJP, we had Jordan Grace, Willie Mack, Chris Bey, all in there with you. And you were the star of that match, dude. Like, I remember
it was based around you. It was based, the whole thing was based around you.
The thing that I remember most was when you were going to do something to Grace and you would scream out, equality! Equality! That, to me, just popped me every single time, man. So I need to know, how was that for you? What type of experience? That was a lot of talent in there, and you still walked out the champion.
And the sun always shines, and just like the sun, everything revolves around me. So it's no surprise right there. You know, Impact, they put all their poster boys and girls who they want to be superstars. You know what I'm saying? The sun always shines. The sun is always going to shine. You know what I mean? You can put all these dark clouds in front of it and try to create something, but I'm going to shine through regardless. My charisma and my talent is going to ooze, and I just ooze just right past all these suckwads. They tried, and everyone's like, well, Jordan Grace is going to do this. It's 2020. It's blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Jordan Grace, she got equality, all right. She got equally double stomped through the mat. So I don't want to hear it. All this crap about you want Jordan Grace to be the first woman exit. Yeah, maybe in 2022. As far as I'm concerned, she got what she deserved. She got in the ring with me, and she got it just like everybody else did. So you should be applauding that, Twitter. You should be applauding that. And you know what? Yes, that was great. That was great. That's what you should have done. But all you did was complain about it, because that's what you do, wrestling fans. You just whine and cry, and you complained about, oh, he double stomped her. She was in the ring. What do you think was going to happen? She got it. She knew what was going to happen. And you know what? She sucked it up and took it like a champ. I mean, not X Division champ, but she took it like a champ. You know what I'm saying? So while everybody else can complain about it because that's what they do, she didn't. She knew what was in store.
Exactly. She went in there as a wrestler, and she took it like a wrestler, and much love to her. But exactly. At the end of the day, you were the champ, and you left the champ.
The thing is, I outsmarted every single. I knew what they wanted to do. They all wanted to get their hands on me, but I knew if I could just move the pawns just a little bit, they would focus on themselves. I saw my moment. I took advantage of it. Smoked TJ, got the cover on Trey, walked out X Division champion still, and then guess what? My reign went from here to here. I beat all the so-called superstars, all the so-called the Impact awesome elite. Yeah, whatever, man. I'm the elite at Impact. I'm the awesome one. I was the champion. Still am. Not champion, but the awesome one at Impact.
And hopefully we'll see you with that championship again.
Of course, man. It's a match made in heaven. It's made to be. It needs to happen. Needs to.
Well, I do have a couple other questions for you here.
Of course you do, Randy. Of course you would have some questions.
Exactly. Always. No praise. It's always questions.
Well, I have to ask this question. You came into Impact back in 2017. If you had to look at Rohit from 2017 to Rohit in 2020, what do you think the most improved things that you've made since your debut as a performer in the world of professional wrestling, since you've entered Impact in 2017 to now?
Confidence. Getting there in 2017, there was nothing about me. Like I was saying before, or I said before, I'm not an indie darling. So there was I didn't know anybody there. I had no clout. I had no friends. I had nothing. So my confidence level was not where it should have been. So I'm stepping in the ring with guys that have been all over the place, guys that are kind of looking down on you, that you got to prove stuff to them. And I definitely wanted to prove myself, and I wanted to show that I belonged, but my confidence level was not the same as it is now. My confidence level is at an all-time high. You could put me in the ring with anybody. I can get in the ring with James Storm and Chris Sabin, and my goal is to show the world that I'm better than them, because they're tall cotton. You know what I'm saying? They're Impact legends, TNA legends, but I want to show that they've had their time and now my time is above theirs. So that was my goal. That's my confidence level now, is to go in the ring with anybody you put me in there with and to prove that I am a main player at Impact Wrestling. So that was the difference. I was trying to get my foot in the door, find my footing at Impact in 2017, and I was just kind of all over the place. Now I know who I am. Now I know what I want to do, and now I know what I want to prove and continue to prove at Impact Wrestling.
That's awesome, dude. Listen, we've taken enough of your time. Where can we find you? Because I know I follow you on Instagram and Facebook, but tell all the other people, where can we find Rohit Raju?
Of course, Twitter at Hakeem Zayn. You can find me on Instagram, Raju Zayn 80. Facebook, just look up Rohit Raju. You'll find me on there talking about pro wrestling, the Dragon's Lair Pro Wrestling Academy, my school in Bay City, Michigan.
Okay.
We're open back up. Got a lot of young people in there training them. I love training people. I love passing on what I know. I love seeing them improve. Of course, there's some things on YouTube. I actually got something cooking up. I'm always posting about protein bars and something. I think I got something cooking up. You heard it first. I think we're going to do something like a Raju's Reviews, where I either drink protein shakes or eat protein bars and I review them. I'm honestly thinking about doing that and using some of what little, I don't want to say celebrity status, but what little popularity I have and go off there, because I'm a huge fitness fan and I would love to be getting some of this fitness clout from some of these people, like, send me free bars. Come on, let's do it. But of course, Shop Impact, baby. Got that new and improved. If I can't even, my shirt's all wrapped up in this hoodie right here. That Rohit Raju official top 5 seller on Shop Impact. I absolutely love it. It's something that I feel very special. Having a T-shirt with Impact Wrestling is something I wanted. I have prowrestlingtees.com/Rohit, but having it with the company that you work for and knowing that it sells well, man, chef's kiss, feels tremendous. So there you go, man. You can check me out. Of course, April 8th, Thursday nights, once it switches, you can find me on Access TV. But until then, Tuesday nights, you can find Jaw Jack in Tuesday Night Impact, and his mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha-skinned manimal, Desi Hitman himself, ravishing Rohit Raju, dropping giants, winning at all costs, doing what I can, future 2-time X Division champion, and of course, future Impact World Champion. That's where you can find me.
Damn right, dude. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure having you on. Listen, enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Dude, take it easy, guys. Thanks for having me.
Take care.
Thank you. All right, that was Rohit Raju.
Dude, Rohit is my dude, man. That's my kind of wrestler. First of all, he's got the style, he's got the grace. He's the total package, man. I love the charisma that he brings. Like I said, one of my new favorites. I've just been introduced to Impact maybe, I'd say, like 3 or 4 months ago, and he quickly shot up. Yeah, he quickly shot up to like maybe my number 1, honestly.
Well, what's good about him too is he's the type of heel where you watch on TV where he makes you smile.
Yeah, like, he's a character, man. I love it.
Yeah.
And again, I cannot go to bat enough for guys like that. That he's a class act, and I love it. Yo, keep knocking those big dudes down, man. Do it for a guy like myself.
We got a special thank you to Ross Foreman from Impact Wrestling for setting this up for us. And, of course, our great producer, Andrew Fumey, who makes us look good every single week on both YouTube and all of our video platforms. So thank you, Andrew. We always appreciate it.
Thank you. You do a great job, man, because I could be a pain in the ass on these podcasts. And you make sure I sound okay and look okay. So I truly appreciate that. And
guys, you know what? Show us some love. Subscribe to our YouTube network on YouTube, of course, Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast, the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast, as well as on all podcast platforms, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and of course Spotify.
Yeah.
Give us a 5-star review. Let us know you like what we're doing. And of course, if you have any suggestions for us, let us know. And of course, backsportspage.com. Where else, Em?
Yo, we're on Instagram, the Cut PW Podcast. We're on Facebook, the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast. Listen, if you have friends who love pro wrestling, share this, let them hear it. You know, just keep it going, keep this thing growing. Because at the end of the day, man, we're all wrestling fans. Let's work together.
And not only that, show support to some of the great talent we've had on this podcast: Mike Law, AJ Pan. Of course, Rohit, Rory Fox. So all these guys, give them a shout, give them some help. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com. Go to ShopImpact.com for Rohit and show him support. Support the wrestlers who are out there busting their butt. This is the way they do it, brother. Show support.
Listen, I can't wait to get my Rohit shirt, man. Again, guys, don't sleep on this stuff. I'm gonna look sharp. You guys are going to be jealous. So go out and get your Rohit t-shirt now, man, because I'm going to get it soon.
As for us, the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast, we're all over social media. We're all over the internet. And for that, we will see you at our next episode on the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast. Em, I'll see you next time.
Guys, take care.